What's up YouTube? It's Heretic here and welcome back as we start another brand new week. We're looking at some more new standard format decks. Today's deck is M Gardevoir-EX from Steam Siege, a dual type attacker, fairy and psychic type. And M Gardevoir this time around has attack called Despair Ray. For 1 fairy energy and 1 colorless, this attack does 110 damage, plus allows you to discard any number of benched Pokemon as you have, and then you deal 10 more damage for each bench Pokemon you discard in this way. That is a low-cost attack that has the potential to deal up to 190 damage with Skyfield in play, which is absolutely monstrous, and can in the process also eliminate Pokemon such as Shaman EX and Hoopa EX, things you normally would not want on your bench, from play so that they do not get Lysandered up. Now, the original list for this was posted on the Charizard Lounge, so I'll go ahead and post a link in the video description for that article from Andrew Wambolt. But we've gone ahead and altered a few things in here after I've done some play testing. So this is our featured attacker. Psychic type allows it to OHKO Mega Mewtwo, and with a Hex Maniac, its fairy typing allows it to OHKO Giratina-EX. Two very big cards right now, post-rotation, getting a lot of hype, and for good reason. So Mega Gardy is a pretty powerful Pokemon to go with based on that alone. You can really just kind of pick whichever basic Gardy you want. I like the artwork on this one, and I kind of like the 120 for knocking out Shamans just in case we need to. Link Blast is so-so at best. Just kind of like that extra damage. And then we've got 3 copies of Hoopa EX to search all our Gardevoirs out, and we also play this many because we can use them continuously through the use of Super Rod and Ultra Ball to pull all of our EXs back out of the deck and simply discard them with Despair Ray for extra damage. We also have a full suite of 4 Shamans for the same reason, as well as excessive amounts of draw power. And then we have 4 Unknowns. Again, you can either draw a card off of this thing, or you can just go ahead and leave it on the bench and discard it for Despair Ray. And then lastly, 2 Klefki. Most of the time you're not going to be able to Wonderlock a Mega Evolution because it's going to have a Spirit Link on it. But if you do have to hard Mega Evolve or the turn before you Mega, you can Wonderlock out your Gardevoir, and then you can turn around and Mega Evolve it and start attacking. And with all the Mega Evolutions expected to see play and getting hype right now, cards like Scizor, Rayquaza, Mewtwo, both of the Gardevoirs, Sceptile, all kinds of Mega Evolutions, I think that Klefki can be a very, very good card. And again, if you can't use it for its purpose, you could always just throw it away. But nevertheless, I think it's a powerful card to have. And so that's it for our Pokemon lineup. And then we go into our trainers, and this is where things get a little weird. We've got the 1 Escape Rope, which is fine. I've been doing that in just about every deck. 3 Mega Turbos, because we have a 2 energy attack cost, so we can definitely work with Mega Turbo and not have to go the Max Elixir route. 3 Super Rod is where it gets crazy, and that's because we are discarding Pokemon from our bench constantly with the Mega Gardevoir's attack. And so we can then retrieve them with Super Rod and then research them with Hoopa off of an Ultra Ball, and then start the process all over again and simply continue to discard when necessary. So for that 3 Super Rod, Andrew Wambolt actually ran 4 Super Rod. In my testing, I continued to draw multiple Super Rods opening hand, so that wasn't something I wanted to have to deal with. So that's why we're running only 3. Of course, with Karen coming out here soon, that's a card you definitely want to include in a deck like this. Absolutely incredible. So, by all means, be on the lookout for Karen in the Keldeo versus Rayquaza Battle Arena deck, as we definitely want to be including at least 1 copy of her in this deck. Next, we have 4 Trainers Mail, as we kind of run like a pseudo-turbo engine, I guess, kind of like the way you'd run Mega Rayquaza. So, definitely running the 4 Trainers Mails for that. 4 Ultra Ball, of course, Pokemon Search, like I said. Also search out Hoopa very easily and very consistently. And then 4 VS Seekers for supporter retrieval. So we don't run a lot of supporters. We run 1 Hex Maniac for ability lock, pretty obvious. Also great first turn. 1 Lysander, 1 N, and 1 Pokemon Ranger. The Ranger is a new addition that was not in Andrew Wambolt's list. This is because in testing, not so much Glaceon, only on occasion, but more so Regice, you know, just kind of coming across some Rayquaza water players running Regice that were giving me kind of a little bit of trouble here. We also upped the Sycamore count from 2 to 3 from Andrew's list on the Charizard Lounge, because I like just having the extra consistency of the 1 more copy. Even considered going up to 4. If I dropped the Ranger, I would probably just put the 4th Sycamore in there. Then we run 4 Sky Fields to bulk up our bench so that we can do more damage with Mega Guardy, 3 Spirit Links to go with our 3/3 Guardy line, and then 8 Fairy Energies at 6 Basic and 2 Wonder Energy. So we're teched out a little bit, but this is our Mega Gardevoir Steam Siege list as of right now, and we're going to go ahead and get into a couple games and see if we can't make this sucker work. Okay, so we're going against a Dark Dragon. It looks like a Dark Tina, and that's probably one of the best matchups we can hit, not gonna lie. We have resistance to darkness, and well, Giratina is just kind of sort of maybe a little bit weak to Fairy, and by a little I mean a lot. So a pretty good draw for us if that is indeed what we're playing against. Alright, so unfortunately we have to start an unknown, so he flips over a Darkrai. I find myself okay with that. We're just going to throw a couple of things here to play this Ultra Ball. I'm going to go find a Hoopa. And we can put... yeah, we can get a full 3 because the Shaman would then be the 5th bench Pokemon. Plus we have the Sky Field, so we could just kind of do whatever. We can go fetch a couple of those, and I guess that's it, because I don't really want to grab another Mega right now. Looks like we prized our 3rd Basic. So we're going to go grab these guys. Get them on the bench. I'm going to get Skyfield out. I'm going to play the escape rope here. Bring one of those to the active. And then we're going to Shaman here for 5 cards. Alright, so go ahead and do a Trainer's Mail. Oh, jeez, that's so many levels of bad. Like, I don't even have words for that. I'm going to fail it. We're going to try again. Yeah, this time we literally whiffed. Alright, so that was just a couple of really bad trainer mails there. So we're going to go ahead and play another Ultra Ball. We're going to go find another Shaman. And I don't like discarding 2 VS Seekers like that, but we're going to just try to speed up our setup here. And maybe we can Hex him or something. Apparently not. I'm going to go ahead and send this unknown. Okay, so Spirit Link, Energy, and Shaman number 3. Maybe we can get another Link. Apparently not. Apparently we just draw dead. Okay, and this is... okay, if our active Pokemon... okay, so it's not cards in hand, it is Pokemon attached to... or energy attached to Pokemon, okay. So we're just gonna pass and probably get Parallel City'd into a 3 Pokemon bench. Which, I mean, I guess Gardevoir would just discard all this stuff anyway, so it's not like it's the end of the world.
Still minus 20 for later.
Yeah. It's actually funny because we have resistance to Darkrai, and Darkrai also has resistance to us. Well, not to this one, but to the Mega. Because of the Psychic half. So, everyone is doing minus 20. But because he put a Floatstone there, that means we're not going to have to be looking at, Fighting Fury Belt, so we can still 2-shot. That's good to see. So we see an Ultra Ball for another Darkrai, we see an Energy on the active, and now a Shaman for 6, or 5, I'm sorry. So there's the, okay, so the other Darkrai gets the belt.
Ooh.
Bees. And so he's going to go for an N, which
Thanks.
I'm perfectly okay with that, because we had, I mean, yeah, we had the Mega for next turn, but that was it. We were stonewalled outside of that.
Dude, we had Duke.
Yeah, so we get the Hoopa, so we'll be able to, barring him playing a stadium, we'll get to search for the Mega again. We've got Trainer's Mail, we've got the Ultra Ball anyway, and we still have a useless VS Seeker just like before. So, let's see, 1, 2, okay, so 2 successful max elixir. Oh my goodness. He's going to hit 3 elixirs. Yeah, I mean, it's been that long. There's no way he's failing. So, okay, it goes on the Shaman that time. Okay. So he's played 3 elixirs just like that. And another Shaman for 5 more cards. My goodness. Come on, man.
Dude, you have 3 on your bench. Come on.
Yeah, I know. So he's going to switch out to the one with the 2 energy. And we're going to see a Dark Pulse here for 90 damage. Now, we can prevent the 2-shot, at least temporarily, by Mega Evolving, but I'm not sure how long that goes in you know, and the be-all, end-all of this whole thing, because if he gets, like, say, a double dragon energy, then we still die. So, I'm going to play this Trainer's Mail here. I don't think it's going to help us very much. Again, I really don't want the Super Rod or the Sky Field, so apparently we're not doing so hot with Trainer's Mail right now. So we will bench this thing, and we're going to go find a Mega, and I think we're... I mean, we can always... Well, you know what? I am going to take the Shaman, actually, right now, because I'm going to Ultra Ball into an Unknown, I think. So we're going to go ahead and grab this into play. And we've got that. And then we can go ahead here and do an Ultra Ball. I'll go find an Unknown. And we still also have our supporter available to us. We haven't played a supporter yet this game. We're going to get the 4th Shaman down. And if he didn't have that stupid belt, well, I guess resistance would still prevent it from happening. I was going to say we could just knock him out. We could Lysander here for a KO, though.
Do it.
Although we would only be getting 1 energy off the board. Let's go ahead and take advantage of this Unknown. If we can get something like a Hex, maybe. I guess we'll just keep using the Unknowns. I mean, normally we just want to discard these to boost our damage, but... Okay, so instead we're just going to hit a Super Rod. So we could send all the Unknowns back if we wanted. I think we're going to wait until next turn to do something like that. Can go ahead and put the Klefki down. And we can go ahead and... There's no point in really Wonderlocking because he doesn't play any Megas, I don't think.
Yeah.
So we can Despair Ray and throw a whole bunch of stuff off of our bench here. So 1... 2, 3, let's see, that's going to be doing 120. We want to make sure that we can still hit, that we can do for 90, so we got to do 130, so we'll go ahead and toss another Shaman while we're at it. And no, I'm not tossing the Gardevoir, thank you very much. So we're going to hit the 130, we're going to throw 4 Pokemon away from our bench. Now, we really still need to hit a draw supporter. Fortunately, we can Super Rod a Shaman back into the deck and then Ultra Ball for it. Or we could Super Rod 2 Shamans and a Hoopa and just Ultra Ball for all of it, which is kind of fun. Obviously, if we had Karen, this deck would be a lot more stupid. So we're going to see a Dark Pulse for 110, and our Resistance is going to save us. So we don't get knocked out. We can... Ultra Ball away. Let's see, I don't really want to throw the Sky Field, so we're going to throw the 2 support... Oh, that was a misplay. Ugh, rip. Because we were supposed to Super Rod first. Oh, that's okay. We're still going to get a knockout here. So, there's an example of something not to do, guys. I mean, I figure you guys already know that, but... We're going to send 2 Shamans and a Hoopa back into the deck. And then we're going to play this Unknown down. And we don't need to actually power our attack up any here. So we're just going to draw the 1 card. And then we're going to just knock it out. Oh! Well, getting rewarded for misplays, yo. I can't complain. So, not sure if I want to pull both of these Shamans. I guess I will. I'll take the -1 card draw to grab them both. And if we don't... I mean, we probably don't need to play them both right now. So, we could just draw 2 cards realistically off one of them, and maybe we hit like a Spirit Link or something. Or maybe we hit an Ultra Ball, and then we can just make a play. Oh, that, okay. I suppose that's what's gonna happen. Alright.
And if you just had a Spirit Link.
Oh, that's so many levels of bad, once again. Alright, so we're just going to Despair Ray here, and we're 110, so we're going to do 90, which is going to be enough to KO, so we don't need to discard anything off the bench. Just leave it all there for later, and hopefully we hit a Spirit Link here.
Leave it all right there.
There we go. Alright.
Leave it all right there.
So now we're going to have to find a way to clean the hand out. We will be able to double Mega Turbo to accelerate to that new Mega here. And I'm guessing we're going to see, yeah, Darkrai and 2 energy. That's all he had. So off a Super Rod, and we're going to see a Sky Return knock us out. So
I do every time that happens.
props there. That's pretty cool. And now we'll see what happens. We should be able to OHKO just about anything that gets thrown at us here. Because Hoopa, Shaman, it really, I guess... Oh, and that thing's weak to fairies. Okay. So that's an even easier one-shot. We might have been one short of taking the Darkrai due to its resistance. I think it would have been a little tough to take that one. But anyway, we may play the mail here. Actually, screw it. Let's just play the trainer's mail.
And have it fail again.
No, we got the Super Rod this time. That's good to see because we can actually send more EXs back into the deck now for Hoopa to be able to go fetch. I will send the Hoopa back itself, and I think we're going to send the Guardy line back. Definitely going to send the basic Guardy and the Hoopa. Whether or not we want the Mega, I think I'm just going to take the Unknown. Because we're not going to have a 4th Spirit Link, so... We can do that. We can attach this link. We can Mega Evolve. And then we can go double Mega Turbo. So we don't even need an energy in our hand. We don't even have to draw into one. We can just Mega Turbo twice. Set that sucker up. And then we can go Hoopa, which can go and grab us a Gardevoir from the deck. And then we're going to get a massive Shaman draw here to close this out. So, just kind of letting everything fly here. Alright, and so we even get more bench fodder for next turn. And I really wish we would have hit an energy, I'm not going to lie about that. Because I don't want to have to discard all this stuff. I guess we could play the Unknown and see if we can't hit into another Fairy Energy. We're still missing 4 of them and 2 Wonder Energies, and we've only got 10 cards left in the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and Wonder Lock, I think. We're going to lock up the Gardevoir just because. I mean, it's only going to be there for a turn. And we're going to do this Unknown. Try to hit an energy, and that's not going to work. Okay. So apparently the universe just doesn't want us to have an energy right now. But we do have 210 HP, so we should be fine. And we don't need to discard any Pokemon off our bench to knock this thing out due to its weakness to Fairy. So we can just blow it away. 2 more prize cards. And we hit 2 energies there, a basic Fairy and a Wonder Energy. So it's really going to come down now because we can just Lysander around this Darkrai, because the max we could hit Darkrai for with a full 8 Pokemon discard is 170 due to its psychic resistance. We do see our opponent fail a Max Elixir. We see a Float Stone go on to Yveltal. We see a Trubbish come down and a Sycamore. So I have to wonder if he's going to try to retreat into Giratina here and stall us out. But with no N, because he's Sycamored, we can just VS Seeker the Lysander and take the Shaman for game. Won't need a discard or anything, and so even though we misplayed that one really stupid misplay we had earlier in the game, not Super Rodding first, we still can claim the game, and so he just goes ahead and scoops it up. So Mega Gardevoir takes the first one. Like I said, that's a really good matchup. We saw our first Mega Gardevoir's resistance come in huge in surviving not 1 but 2 Dark Pulse attacks from the opposing Darkrai. So we will go on into another one now and continue to try to bring Mega Gardevoir to perfection. And we completed another daily challenge. Pixie Punch. Okay. Alrighty. So Psychic, Metal, and Colorless. So this one looks more like a Rayquaza. We are going to win the coin flip, so we will choose to go first, and let's get going. Alright, so we're actually going to get to start with Guardy this time, which is kind of cool. Like last game where we had to start with Unknown, and we were very fortunate to open with our lone copy of Escape Rope. Mari actually raised a very good point, excuse me, after that last game, which is we should probably run more switching cards. So it's not Rayquaza, it is Audino. Okay. So, this could actually be very interesting. We do see Magearna and Cobalion on the bench. That is a bit of a red flag because we are weak to metal. So we don't like to see metal types. let's see here. We're not going to see a Mega on the first turn, so I'm going to go ahead and let go of the Clef Key and the basic fairy due to it being a target for Mega Turbo. So looks like this time we prized a Mega, but that's it. We didn't prize any of our regular Guardies, so we can just go ahead. Got Hoopa here, so we can go Gardevoir, Gardevoir, Shaman, and that ought to set us up nicely. Let's get these things down. Let's go ahead and get the Unknown down, put the Sky Field into play, and we'll get our Wonder Energy attached as well, and then we can draw 5 cards off of setup. So hopefully that'll give us a pretty serviceable hand. And we do get a Spirit Link here. I think we might actually just hold the rest of this. I'm going to definitely send this Unknown. So we can Ultra Ball for the Mega next turn. So we've got a pretty serviceable hand here. So we can go ahead and pass. We can Ultra Ball for the Mega next turn, do the Mega Turbo, and start attacking. Obviously, those Steel types over there on the bench are of concern. We could always try to Lysander them up and just take knockouts on them by discarding from the bench. Cobalion, I believe, yeah, we'd only need to discard 1 to take out Cobalion. We'd have to discard 5 to take out Magearna. Inconvenient, but definitely not impossible. And opposing Mega Evolutions definitely will be, well, Mega Audino will be impossible to OHKO. So if we can knock this thing out on our turn, I think by all means that has to be the play. And fortunately, looking at our hand, I think we can, actually. We should be able to pull that off with another Hoopa. Ah, no, not the Lysander.
It's almost like that switching thing.
Yeah, we only play 1 switching card, and it switches his Pokemon too. We had the entire setup there, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it wasn't even close. We had all of it.
Remember, when in doubt, listen to Mari.
Basically. Alright, so I'd like to keep one of these Super Rods in hand. We're gonna go find another Hoopa, though, and I'm gonna check and see that escape rope's not in the prizes. It is. Oh my goodness. That's not good. That is not good. Alright, so we're gonna go find... I think we're just gonna get 2 Megas here, then, if that's the case. We already have a Shaman in hand. So just give me a pair of Mega Gardevoirs now. We're gonna lay one of them down. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that back, and then we're just gonna attach an energy here. Still no reason to, but we will have a Wonderlockable Gardevoir now on the bench, which is noteworthy. So we get 2 Megas into play. Definitely nothing to scoff at, although we are stuck with a very awkward Pokemon in our active slot, and we do see our opponent's Hoopa.
Especially because Mega Audino snipes, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
We're going to take 100 damage to our bench before this thing can leave the active, since we don't have double colorless. So we really, really need to find another way to get this thing out of the active, and I blame the Charizard Lounge list, because that's what I initially started with when I built this, and so that and my lack of testing. I blame those 2 things.
You should have asked me.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Mari
I
notices these things, whereas, yeah. It's one of the zillion things that I love about her.
Meow.
So, he Sycamore's way. Oh, gee, can I borrow that switch? Any chance I can borrow that? So we're about to take a lot of damage here. 110 to the Hoopa, which unfortunately doesn't knock it out. I really wish it did. And then, probably... I honestly don't know which Gardevoir I would hit in this instance. Okay, so he does go for the one with the 2 energy. Why can't it be drop 5 damage counters? Wonder Energy would just be like, yeah, no. Okay, so we're going to get the energy on that one, and I'm just going to Shaman here again. Stupid escape rope being in the prizes. Alright, so we can Lysander his Hoopa now. I mean, I guess that's something.
'Cause you're a hooper.
Okay, so I think we're gonna just pass here. I don't know that we're gonna be able to find... We've got 3 basic fairy energies left between the deck and the prizes. That's 31 cards total between those 2 spots. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find 2 fairies and get them both attached before he finds a double colorless or a float stone or any other method of switching. Olympia, switch, escape rope. Although I'd be open to the escape rope option. Not gonna lie. Just have to be very careful with an escape rope, because if I brought up a shaman, he could take a 4 prize knockout. So we do see a VS Seeker here for an N. So we're gonna get a new hand. Oh, no we're not. He's just gonna VS Seeker for an N to kind of tease us, and then Sycamore. Rip. Alright, I kind of wish I wouldn't have played that Lysander now. I kind of just want this thing to hurry up and die. And he does play the escape rope. Okay, so this is we're kind of playing hot potato here now. Like, I don't know what, because if we bring up the shaman, he gets a 4 prize knockout. No, I don't know why it always wants me to go with this thing. Like, I don't get it. But I guess we will go with the this Mega Guardy only because we can Wonderlock it next turn. We actually have the Clef Key there that we can take advantage of. Now we're gonna take some damage. Whether or not he goes for the Hoopa knockout here is anyone's guess, but we're gonna be able to try to Wonderlock this Gardevoir here for hopefully a couple of turns. Hopefully we can do this for two straight turns and actually start to take some KOs. And of course we have to watch out for this Magearna and make sure it doesn't start getting energy. The second an energy goes onto that, we have to really eliminate that thing. And once again, we are without a draw supporter in the discard pile for our VS Seekers. So that's not too friendly. And so he goes for the Gardevoir instead of the Hoopa. So we draw the Clef Key. That's actually really, really big top deck. So we won't have to, well, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to Super Rod these 3 back in. I'm going to put it in the deck so that we have an opportunity to draw it. Go ahead and Farewell Letter. Alright, we draw into Shaman. That's actually really good. So we can Wonderlock our active Gardevoir, protecting it from Mega Audino for a turn. And then we can Lysander if we want to here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and attack this Mega Audino, though. And we're going to be able to knock some stuff off our bench, most notably that Hoopa that has all the damage on it. Not something we really want on the bench right now. So we're going to go ahead and do a Hex Maniac. And we're going to start knocking some stuff off of our bench with Despair Ray. So we're going to knock both of these Hoopas off. And I think we're going to stop right there. And that one Hoopa with 130 on it, which would have could have been KO'd by a snipe from the Mega Audino. That's a pretty big play. And we could also next turn knock off the other Gardevoir if it takes 50 more damage from Mega Audino. Might not have even been a bad idea to knock it off that turn to prevent a knockout off Lysander. And we can also Ultra Ball on our turn to find another Clef Key. So he's going to go ahead and parallel us. So we're going to lose 2 of our Shamans. So how many Super Rods are... We're down 2... Oh, jeez, that's not good. So... And I actually think I might have misplayed again. We ended up hexing last turn. I hope that didn't take away the Wonderlock. I guess because it is a Pokemon tool card now, it shouldn't be taken away. Yeah, so it's still going to do no damage. And he didn't support her either. So we get some stuff kind of going for us there. So we're going to go ahead and override this Parallel City with another Sky Field. And we're going to Ultra Ball away one of the VS Seekers and the Pokemon Ranger. And I'd actually like to see the discard pile here, because I really would like this Klefki, but I also don't want to make a mistake when we need some draw power. We are going to get a KO here, though. So we can just go ahead and I think we're just going to play the safe route. We're going to grab the Klefki. Can go ahead and throw this energy here. Go ahead and attach that. And we do need to watch out for Do the Wave here as well. That regular Audino attack could mess us up, but we do have a second Guardy ready to go in that instance. So we're going to go ahead and Despair Ray. We don't need to discard anything. And we're going to knock out this Audino and get 2 prize cards for it. So we do get the Mega. We also get a Mega Turbo to go with it. So that's pretty good. We can Lysander to kind of stall things out a little bit. So that's a few things that are kind of working in our favor here, because I do think this is doing, yep, it's doing 100. It's doing exactly enough. So I'm guessing he's just going to attack us straight up with Do the Wave. Seems like the best play here. So we see an Ultra Ball, a Floatstone, 2 Floatstones, just different artwork. Okay. And really don't know what you go for here. Do you go for the Mega and maybe just hold on to it until next turn? I mean, I guess that seems like a good play. And instead he decides to Mega Evolve. Oh my goodness. And why do you do that? I mean, yeah, you've got the Shaman here. You can draw 5. Maybe we could have, or 6. Maybe we could have hexed. Again, I suppose that would have been a decent play now that I look at this. Probably misplayed a few times this game. We see a double colorless go on to another Audino, but still no supporter. So I'm guessing waiting on a VS Seeker or something. We do see a Trainer's Mail here. Really, I think he's got to be looking for a Lysander. Really don't know what else you're doing here. So it finds an Enhanced Hammer instead. It'll be able to hammer off the Wander Energy from the benched Gardevoir. Whether or not that comes into play here is another question, because in this instance, if he does end up with a Lysander play here, then this Gardevoir would just be knocked out and there would be no point to using the Enhanced Hammer. We do see 2 Lysanders in the discard, but only 1 VS Seeker. So he's got plenty of supporters down there, a pretty big batch of them, I would say, but he's got 3 VS Seekers left. He does play the Enhanced Hammer, knocks off the Wonder Energy, and not gonna lie, something that would get us into another Klefki with off of a Super Rod would be pretty nice right now. Instead, he's gonna choose to go into the Magearna off of a switch. Now, there's no way that thing gets charged up just yet, so it's going to be a pass this turn, it looks like, to try and work around Klefki. And you could have had the knockout simply by not evolving the Magearna there, or Magearna, simply by not evolving the Audino. We see another Parallel City, and then that's going to be the turn. So, alright, get something good here. Come on, supporter. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we can do that. Go ahead and put another Mega Gardevoir into play. And I guess we can't Mega Turbo because we don't have a basic energy in there. Alright, and we're not doing enough damage, so we are going to Sycamore this stuff away. And we are going to do enough damage actually now to knock this thing out. So we'll go ahead and knock that out of play. We'll put a pair of these guys down. Wish we had a Super Rod. We'd be able to Wonderlock yet again. But instead, I think I'm just going to leave us with 2 attacking Gardevoirs. And we can just discard the entire board here to take a knockout. And how many VS Seekers are we down? That is actually an important question. Only 2. Okay. So we can Despair Ray here. And actually, let me see this. This thing has resistance. Oh, that was a mistake. We're just going to knock the Shaman in that case. Ugh, another misplay. Feel free to leave all the hateful comments and thumbs downs and all that stuff.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate.
Yeah. That's coming from someone who hates Taylor Swift, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so we do see a Metal Energy go onto Magearna, which will be enough to retreat it. We are no longer Wonderlocked, which means Mega Audino can come up and just lay down the hit. Still no supporter from our opponent, though. So it will be a knockout on our active Mega Gardevoir, but that is it. And unfortunately, we're just going to watch another one get knocked out next turn, I'm pretty sure. I don't really see an alternative. We do find a VS Seeker, however. So we can go grab the Versus Seeker here. And we can try to Lysander up the Magearna. And we're going to go ahead and send these unknowns as well. Since our goal ultimately is going to be to Lysander up a Shaman for a knockout here. So we're going to get both of these things off the board. Alright, so we get a pretty good haul there. And we're going to Lysander up the Magearna now. And eliminate it from play. So go ahead and just do a Despair Ray. Choose not to discard. So 90 damage will be enough. We'll claim 2 more prize cards, and we hit a Wonder Energy and a Mega Turbo. So 2 very usable cards there. We have to hope that our last Mega Turbo has not, or not Mega Turbo, sorry, that our last VS Seeker has not found its way into the prizes, as there are only 2 of them left. So we'll see a Super Rod here. 2 Metal Energies and a Shaman going back into the deck. And hopefully we don't see the dreaded N here. We also see the Cobalion beginning to get powered up. So once again, an attack with no supporters. So we will yield 2 more prizes and go down to our last Gardevoir. But we will have the opportunity now to Ultra Ball away a pair of supporter cards here, should we choose. I'm not really sure how I feel about doing that if we don't know that VS Seeker's in there. Kind of wanting to hold on to that N in this scenario. I think what I'm going to do is let go of the Wonder Energy instead. Let's just be okay with letting one. We do see the Seeker in there, however. So we can grab the Hoopa. And that'll leave us with 6 cards. We can get 5 of them off of Shaman. Unknown can grab us the 6th, which means we should be able to draw the rest of the deck. We don't need to search, there's nothing in there. So we can Mega Turbo here. And then we can Shaman for 5 out of 6 cards. And if we miss it, we can simply send the Unknown. Okay, there it is. And we only need the 110 damage to win us the game. So we're just going to grab this Lysander here, play it, bring up the Shaman, and we're going to do a Despair Ray, and let's just discard them all. So we're going to get 140 damage, and that's going to be the game right there. So and there's the escape rope. So we learned we need to put more switching stuff in, and we need to not misplay 100 times per game. But
And Klefki's awesome.
Klefki, oh man. You know what? I will give up that turn because Klefki did a lot of work for us there. Yeah. Wonderlock for days. Wow. Alright, so anyway, that's the new Mega Gardevoir. And stay tuned tomorrow as we take a look at the old Mega Gardevoir. So, Brilliant Arrow, like a bigger version of Xerneas Break. We'll be looking at that tomorrow. But for now, this is the one from Steam Siege. Pretty cool card. So, anyway, that's what we've got for you guys today, and I will see you again soon. Cheers!